When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're coming from, everybody. My name is Colleen Biggs, and welcome back to Take the Leap podcast. It's been a wild ride the last several months and building this podcast and really showcasing so many of our members who are part of the LEAP community. And if you're asking yourself, what is the LEAP community? It's a community that I created for business builders, for female entrepreneurs who are not only looking to connect with other female entrepreneurs for collaboration, but are also looking to be seen, be heard, and be visible. And we have an array of spotlights for you to step into on a regular basis with your membership. You have the ability to not only be a guest on the Take the Leap podcast, but we showcase you on live LinkedIn videos, live YouTube videos. You get to teach your own Thrive Thursday masterclass. You get to attend our business incubator masterminds that we have monthly on the second Tuesday of every month. You get to attend other networking events we have throughout our division chapters throughout the United States, as well as submit blogs and so many other ways that you're spotlighted. You get to attend our networking events that are national and worldwide once a month. There's, again, so many opportunities for you to not only step into the spotlight to expand your influence and attract your right customers, but for you to meet some fantastic ladies that are also female entrepreneurs and leaders in corporate America. So today I want to dive into the subject about getting clarity around our big business goals and what is our big potential. These are two things and subjects that I talk a lot to my clients about, and working with them either through a startup. So if they're brand new, budding entrepreneurs that are still working a full-time job and they have a side hustle and they want to turn it into a business, I have a startup group that I work with that I assist them through the process of starting up their business and everything that it takes, from business LLCs to EIN numbers, to building your business credit so you have access to cash. And I could go on and on and on, but really turning that side hustle into something that is producing income. And then we have the emerging entrepreneurs group, and these are ladies that have already started a business. They've been running a business maybe as a hobby or just a low, income running business. Maybe they've even produced 5 to 6 figures, but they feel like they need to scale to the next level. And at that point, we're introducing them to resources of automation, processes and procedures, offloading some of their tasks, and earning additional revenue. So looking at additional revenue streams in their business where they're leaving money on the table. And I assist them through that process of generating more income. And then I work with ladies on a private one-to-one level. And this private one-to-one level is going to be the group of ladies that are really dominating in their industry, becoming the icons. And they're the go-to people in their industry. So they're doing a lot of speaking, paid to speak, pay to play to speak, right? They're selling from stage. They're starting podcasts. They're creating and producing TV shows. They're the ones now that are interviewing others instead of being the one interviewed. But again, they're getting on more stages. They're expanding their influence much more and reaching those multiple 6-figure and 7-figure numbers. So I love, I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to do what I love best, which is working with these ladies to realize and believe that there is more for them, to challenge themselves outside of their comfort zone, to reach their level of where they can go in their business. And whether that be to be self-sustaining, for the amount of income that they earn, or for them to have more time with family, whatever that might be. I'm so blessed to be able to do that. And before we dive into our goals today, I wanted to thank our sponsor who is sponsoring our show today, Tricia Peridot with Turning Leaves Recovery. She's an addiction specialist, a thought leader, a recovery life and wellness coach, a lifestyle enthusiast, a transformational speaker, an effective life skill breather, and a fierce optimist who loves to help change lives. So addictions, negative attachments, and habits that hold us hostage are all seated in a pressure to perform and a reliance on something outside of ourselves to provide peace, joy, comfort, relief, value, validity, and worthiness. Tricia's combined her journey with addictions that span more than 30 years of her life with her 25 plus year recovery journey and in-depth degree studies to create an intimate, interactive experience designed to be focused on life going forward, transforming emotional intelligence, expanding consciousness, and generating a healthy lifestyle for any recovery journey without creating the overwhelm. So if you know someone, or if you are that person who is looking for somebody to assist you and help you walk through that recovery journey of an addiction, she is a wonderful advocate and coach to assist you through that process. Or if you are looking and have been through that process and are looking now to coach others, she also has a course that allows you to be certified as a coach to be able to help others in that recovery. And you can reach her at turningleavesrecovery.com or call her direct line at 805-710-2513. And I really want to thank Tricia for being a sponsor on today's show and for being a fierce optimist, as she says, for supporting men and women through this recovery journey, which brings me to Big Potential. Been reading this book, Big Potential, and Big Potential essentially is about lifting and breathing life into those around you and creating a community of leaders and winners. And one of the stories I was thinking about was an elite orchestra that had someone in the 11th chair and a violin. And she was really upset that she was in the 11th chair because that was the last chair. And she was only focused on being last, not focused on that there's a very small percentage of people that actually get into this orchestra, this elite orchestra. So the composer had asked her for some advice on how they could do things a little differently in one of the pieces that he was composing. And she was able to give her advice on what she felt that he should do. And just that moment of him asking her what her opinion was on what she should do or what he should do in changes and tweaks to the composition of the piece that they were doing, she felt empowered and a leader and played proudly from her 11th chair, knowing that she was making a difference. So I ask the question of all of you, are you empowering others around you to be leaders, to make a difference in the world? We can take our time to empower our neighbor. We can take the time to empower our children. We can take the time to empower our colleagues. So if we're at work, we can give a compliment, we can help someone through a project, we can offer our advice. The many years that I spent in corporate America, I took a little bit of time to sit down with so many people that I was hoping to work with in different departments and asking them, what do they want most out of their job? Why are they there? What do they aspire to be or do? What lights them up? And, just sitting down with someone and asking them these simple questions can really change the dynamic of not only your relationship with them, but their own empowerment of what they aspire to. And in corporations today, we need to remember that it's people first. And if you care about the people, I always say no one cares about what you do or what you sell until they know about how much you care. And I really feel like that's true. You need to show others how much you care about them and treat them like people. And doing this and caring about people allows them to feel empowered, and they will work harder. They will be more loyal. They will give you more than if you were to just say that they were going to get a raise, right? And leadership, I think the one thing that drives me the craziest is the dictatorship of leadership, and it being that leadership is top down. And if you're a leader, you have a badge or you have a title. And I've seen so many leaders be given titles, and those titles essentially are weightless because they're not leaders. They never were, but someone deemed them to be. And then therefore they take on this responsibility that A, they weren't ready for, B, they're not trained for, and C, they don't have anyone following them. If you want to define a leader, look at who is following them. Look at, you're not a leader unless someone's following, because you can't lead just by yourself, right? So it's time in this world today for every single one of us to step up and tap into our biggest potential. And the way that we do that is by empowering others around us. The more that we teach, the more that we lead, the more that we offer them opportunities around us to teach and lead, the more empowered they will be to teach and lead others. And that is what truly will create that ripple effect of change. So I'm going to challenge you this week to step out of your comfort zone and teach or empower someone around you for them to feel empowered to do the same. So that's what I wanted to say about our biggest potential that we have. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the clarity of our goals. I've just recently had surgery, and during my recovery, I struggled so much with positive mindset and feeling as if I was contributing. When you spend 2 weeks down and away from work, I worked part-time the second week, so I wasn't fully away from work, but was down an entire week. And during that time, I just existed, right? I was just existing to survive. And existing to survive doesn't feel very good compared to the life that I have deemed for myself today, the path that I am on, and have empowered myself and continuously put people in my circle and surround myself with people that continue to fuel my success and empower me. I want people around me to shine their lights bright, and brighter than mine. If you have the opportunity to shine your light brighter than mine, shine on, because the more of us that are shining our lights, the more people we will attract and will assist in leading the way, right? So we never want to snuff out someone else's flame or shining their bright light because we want only our light to shine. Metaphorically, if you're looking at that in a forest and you're the only flashlight and you have 100 people that you're leading through the forest, you're not going to be able to see very well. But if all 100 people are empowered with flashlights to shine their lights, you'll be able to see that from, outer space. And of course, the whole forest would light up. So how important it is for us to empower others around us. And during this time while I was down, getting back to that story, I felt unempowered. I felt sluggish. I felt that I was only surviving. I felt that I wanted my body to move faster than my body was moving. And I just struggled with feeling stuck. And my brain was foggy and I couldn't, operate it at the level that I generally do. I look at it like a computer, right? If we're running 50 operating systems in the background on our computer, and the fans blaring and the computers, working overtime, we can't expect on the front end of our computer to be able to download and stream and do everything that we do at our regular rate. It's going to slow it way down. And that's how our bodies are. When our bodies are healing and we're functioning on the front end, we need to understand that we're going to be slowed down a little bit. And that's okay. The biggest lesson I learned from this, there was two things. One was, it is okay to give yourself permission. If you're atypical like me and you're extremely driven and motivated, and set goals and want to achieve those goals and want to empower others around you to achieve those goals, it is very difficult to step back and survive for a couple weeks. Very difficult. It's a harder task to survive than to build an empire, if you ask me. So I was put in the position where I was forced to do that. And while I was surviving, I realized how important it was that I had processes and procedures in place for my company, that I had others around me, that I had empowered during the times when I felt at my 100%, that stepped up to run events for me. It was just amazing to me how much a community came around me to support me, to keep my businesses running on a regular basis like they do when I'm in it, even when I'm out of it. And so it was so important, and why I work with women in emerging entrepreneurs to put those processes and procedures in place and to delegate, is because if you're the only cog in the wheel and you're the only one doing everything in your business, and you don't have any processes and procedures in place or any team members that can assist you, or any automation that's happening, when you're down and out, you're down and out, and your business stops. This is not a healthy business. This is not a business you can sell. This is not a business that has any value to it. So I want to caution you, if you're currently running a business like that, to bring on someone to work with you to help you create those processes and procedures in your business to get, I have several programs available for women to work with me, whether it be for an hour, for a day, for, 6 months, a year, to be able to do just that, to put those pieces in place so that when you are down and out, or when you do want a vacation, or whatever it may be in our life, you have the opportunity to take that time and your team and your automation. So your CRM is part of your team. It's running for you. And it's also doing work in the background that you don't need to focus on. I couldn't imagine having to send all of the reminder emails for my events and having to send a ton of emails. When someone does, attend an event, and follow-up emails and those types of things, and nurturing campaigns, those aren't done manually in my business. They're done automatically. So they take a while to set up in the beginning, but once you get them set up, then they just, set it and forget it. I say, like the TV commercial, you can set it and forget it and let them roll. And now you're touching people and reminding people on a regular basis. I still had newsletters go out. I had events that were running. I had promotions that were running. I had programs that were being released, all while I was down for a couple of weeks, healing my body. So first of all, the message I'm sending here is, if you're like me and you're very driven, I want you to give yourself a little bit of grace. It was very hard for me to accept, but it is so important that we take time away and allow our bodies to heal. So that's number one. You're creating a business for a career that that lights you up, that inspires change in other, and you get to leave a legacy. So if this is what you're building, then you need to give yourself some grace. And I'm assuming that this business, you're not working 80 hours a week, because I know there's that saying, entrepreneurs are the only ones that trade an 80-hour work week or 40-hour work week for 80, and I don't work 80. So, and you shouldn't either. I can show you numbers and prove to you that having other resources working with you actually doubles your time, which is how you're able to do more, sell more, and be able to grow your business doing the things that you do and only you can do, versus something that a different person, like an admin, a virtual assistant, maybe a marketing team, a content writer, they have the ability to assist you in doing some of these other things that might not be your heavy skill set. So, and they're faster. I have found that so many of my team members are faster at doing things that I am because they're not my area of expertise. So I stick to what I do best and I let them do the rest. The other thing are your goals. We touched on this a little bit. What are your goals? What are you planning on achieving this year? Do you have a 30-day goal? One of the best things I ever did was implement in my group tracking 30-day goals. So I sent everyone a magic marker and I told them they could write on any glass surface in their house. You know, they can write on their mirror in their bathroom. But when you write your goals down of what you want to earn that month, and then you start marking it off every time you earn money and you're tracking it, whatever you put energy into grows, right? Where your focus is that's where your energy goes. And if you're focused on an income goal, then you need to stay focused on an income goal. You need to know every dollar that comes into your business. That way you can create more ways to influx more income into your business. You're going to know if your sales are low and you need to talk to a few extra people, send out additional promotions, whatever it may be. Tracking your 30-day goals of how much money you want to make is essential in reaching those goals. So, you know, everyone's heard of SMART goals, but so many people don't put them into place. So, you know, with your SMART goals, you want to make it very specific. That's your S. That's a specific goal. What is it that you want to achieve? Do you want to, and I don't want to hear that you want to grow your business. That's not specific. Where do you want to grow your business? Do you want to achieve more income? So let's say that your goal was to achieve $30,000 in your business this month, and you write down the number 30,000. Then you look at how much residual income you have coming in on a regular basis. So maybe that's 20,000. So you have a deficit of 10,000. How are you going to achieve that additional $10,000 this month? And that's very measurable, right? You can measure, that's your M in SMART. You can measure how much money you have coming in your business. You can look at the programs that you have. It can hit you in high gear and you can do a couple more events or do some other projects or go on, a lockdown sales week where you're selling your products or services that week. So what is it that you are looking to achieve, and make sure it's measurable? So specific and measurable, and make sure it's attainable. So if you're currently generating $20,000 in your business, it may not be attainable for you to go from 20,000 to 150,000 in a month, in a 1 month. That may not be attainable. Now, I'm not saying I want you to make your goals too small, but maybe that would be attainable for the year for you to work up to that point. But from 20,000 to 150,000, that may be unrealistic. So you want it to be attainable. And then again, the R is realistic, and that's part of the attainable piece. So is it attainable? So can you do it? If there's something is not attainable at all, and you work for a corporation, you say you want to be CEO in the next 2 months, and that CEO isn't going anywhere, isn't retiring, that may not be possible for you to become CEO. So again, make it a realistic, attainable goal, and then track. You want to track it. Tracking is why I send them the markers, so they can track every time they get a new dollar. And I have found in my family that when I have goals that I'm putting up on the mirror, then my husband looks at those goals and then he wants to participate. So he's like, well, I'm going to push myself for a goal this month. And he always wants his goal to be a little bit more than mine. A little competition going on in my family, which is okay. And in fact, I love the competition, and I do it in a community of women. We support each other. We cheer each other on. We celebrate our wins. And that's not part of the SMART goals, formula, is to celebrate your wins. But I'm going to add that in there. You need to celebrate every dollar you get. I have a bell that is attached to a wall in my office, and it's a hanging bell. So it's got a string on it. And whenever I acquire new income daily, whatever comes in, whether it's daily, every other day, if it's a new member that comes into my community, or a new book sale, or affiliate income, a new product is sold or service, whatever that is, and not just your residual income that comes in, but something new, I ring the bell, and it's there for my husband to ring as well. So think of fun ways that you can celebrate your wins. And you'll also notice when you haven't rang that bell in a while. So if you're like, wow, it's been 3 days and I haven't walked over to ring the bell, what is happening? It's going to kick you into high gear to look at what isn't selling, what you need to sell. Whether we like it or not, if you own a business and you're listening to this, or you're in corporate America, there's two things you're responsible for. One, you're responsible for the income that you generate. And two, you're responsible for the leader that you become and those that you empower around you. So if you know that you're responsible for those things, you have the opportunity, especially as an entrepreneur, even if you're working in corporate America, you can start a side hustle and create income. And today it is easier than ever to create income. You can start Amazon stores, you can do Audible readings. There are a million ways that you can go online and find a way to work from home, from your own home, and generate income. You could work for 3 or 4 different companies on a part-time basis and generate enough income of what a salary would be at corporate America. So I'm sharing this with you because there are no excuses of why you can't generate income. When I started my business, I used to generate income from 4 or 5 different avenues. I was coaching, I was consulting with companies, I was teaching fitness classes, and I was a personal trainer. So those are the 4 ways that I would earn income in a month. Of how I would pay my bills. And only one of those was working with coaching, which is, what I've been doing for 22 years and what I do today. And of course, the community Leap for Ladies. So there are no excuses out there. If you're making excuses, they're just for yourself. To make you feel better. So what do you need to be inspired? What do you need to be motivated? Do you need to be around a community of people that motivate you? I was talking with our member the other day, Roberta, and she said, since I've joined your community, I'm so motivated to earn money, and I feel motivated to grow my business. And it's always been kind of a hobby for me, but now I really want to push myself to see what is possible. And it's because I go to your masterclasses and your networking events, and I'm listening to you speak and listening to your podcast. And it's so motivating. And the members are so motivating with what they've been able to do. And so as she became a member of the community, she now is feeling empowered to grow this business beyond being a hobby for herself, and really wanting to drive some additional income to prove to herself that she can do it. So whatever your reason is, you've got to surround yourself with people that are fueling your success, that believe in you, that are cheering you on. And that's what we do here in the Leap community. And that's what I do in every one of my communities that I've created for women that I work with and bring them together. So just some tips for today on how to set your goals, how to really follow through on your goals. We're reading Atomic Habits right now in our book club. We've been reading it for about 12 or 13 weeks now at this point. And we gather every Wednesday at 3:00 Pacific Standard Time. And I can just tell you that we always read books for personal development. And Atomic Habits, the first 2 things I really love about it is, if you want to create a new habit, you have to make it convenient, you have to make it attractive. So let's carry that over into business. If you want to generate more income, you have to make it convenient and attractive for you to do it. If someone said you're going to be put on the phone, you have to cold call people for 8 hours a day. That's most of the time that's not attractive to people. So how can you earn income that makes it attractive for you? Can you do fun events? Can you invite people to fun events and then ask them to join something at the event? Can you have one-on-one phone calls? Can you go to networking events? What can you do to make it fun and attractive for you to earn money? Is it something that you do in your community and you can go out and, a lemonade stand is your thing and you love to bake cookies. And so you bake cookies all day and sell them. And that's how you love to generate income. Do what lights you up. And then along the way, Be the biggest potential possible by empowering people around you to shine their lights as bright as they possibly can. And I want to thank you for joining me today on today's episode as we talk about how to create those goals, how to follow through on those goals, how to achieve those SMART goals, but also how to reach your biggest potential. I work with women all day long about how to reach their peak performance. And you must be pushed out of your comfort zone to do that. And you're going to be doing things you've never done before, but that is what's going to assist you to grow and become the person that you desire to be. So remember, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that will ever be. That's it. You're the only one. So how you navigate this life that we have been gifted here on earth is up to you. Speak up, be heard, be seen, be visible. Don't shy away from being seen or heard. Say what you need to say, empower those around you, enjoy your life, reach your goals, set your goals, and do what it is that lights you up every day, because that is how true happiness is created. It's not created through money. It's created through what you're able to achieve for yourself as you set those goals. So I want to thank all of you for being with us today. And remember, this week, as you go out in the world, remember to be you and be strong. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery, where you learned the tools to create a life by design. Remember, you are the only you there is, and you are the only you that will ever be. Be you and be strong, because you are brilliant, and the world needs you at your best. We cannot wait for you to join us again next time.